It takes a team to make the dream a reality. And on today's show, you get to meet some of the team members who make search engine domination possible for our clients.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrivetime Show.
3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yes, 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 and yes. Thrive Nation, welcome back to another exciting edition of the Thrivetime Show on both your radio and podcast download. And on today's show, we're talking about search engine domination. And specifically what we're talking about today is we're talking about creating content. You see, if you want to get to the top of Google, there are 4 variables that impact your rank. There's a lot of details that go into those 4, but there's 4 main variables. Variable number 1, Ben Summers, is what?
You follow all the Google rules, so the canonical compliance.
Canonical compliance. Let me kind of unnerd that for some of you out there that don't speak fluent nerd jive. Here's the deal. You got to follow all of Google's rules. Why? Because Google is in charge. Okay. Second, you have to have the most reviews, the most authentic, objective reviews from your ideal and likely buyers, from real customers. You have to get the most objective reviews. The third variable is the website that has the most mobile compliance gets to be top in the Google search engine results. And now the fourth variable that allows you to get to the top of Google search engine ranking is the site with the most original hypertext markup language, the site with the most original relevant content, the site with the most words. And Ben Summers, you are the head of the search engine team we affectionately refer to as SEO Row. Please explain to me why writing content is so hard for the vast majority of humans on the planet Earth.
Well, in my opinion, I think a lot of people that feel like they overcomplicate it. In all honesty, it's pretty straightforward. But I feel like the majority of people, they just don't want to do it.
No, see, that's offensive. You're saying that people maybe would come to a conference to learn what to do, and then when we teach them what to do, maybe they just don't want to do it.
Most definitely, yeah.
You know what you're doing is you're taking the show to a negative place, and my job is to take the show to a positive place. Quit talking about the truth and the facts. Let me talk to you about feelings. Captain Canada up there, Spurl. He's a CPA, Spurl CPAs. If you Google search that guy, he's in Edmonton. He doesn't feel like writing the content, but he does it, and therefore he's top in the Google searches. Roy's Garage, RC Auto Specialist, and thegaragebA.com. He's an automotive repair shop. He doesn't want to write the content, but you know what he does, Ben? Because he doesn't want to write the content. What does he do?
He writes the content?
Nope. He doesn't want to do it. He knows he needs to do it. He doesn't want. He's not going to do. He's out there fixing cars. He's managing a staff of people. He's a great guy, and he's realized it's not his highest and best use to write the content himself. So what do you think he does?
He has us write the content.
Yes!
Yes!
Which is why you have a job and I have a job and we all have jobs because people like Roy who say, you know what, I would rather pay your team to write the content than to write the content myself. But nothing is worse than knowing what to do and refusing to do it. That causes cognitive dissonance. It's where you know what to do and you do the opposite of it. It causes you to feel like you're not getting ahead. It causes you to feel depressed. It will cause you to end up living in a van down by the river with your mother. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you write the content. Now, some people out there say, I don't want to write the content, Clay, and I don't want to pay your team to write the content. And for those of you who want to be top in Google, but you don't want to write the content, and you don't want to pay someone else to write the content, I have a motivational speaker that I've hired for today's show, and I'm going to cue up the audio of him, and hopefully this is the encouragement that you need. So this is what will happen to you if you don't write the content yourself, and if you don't have somebody else write the content for you if you're not willing to.
Now you kids are probably saying to yourselves, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get the world by the tail and wrap it around and pull it down and put it in my pocket. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're probably going to find out as you go out there that you're not going to amount to jack squat.
That is true. That is true. And so, Ben, tell us about some of the clients that you're writing content for this month and how much content that you are writing this month here over here at the Thrivetime Show World Headquarters and for the Make Your Life Epic search engine team.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. So I think good examples, we have Platinum Pest. We've mentioned them a couple of times before. We are writing 136 articles for them this month so far.
For Platinum Pest and Lawn Care? Okay. Give us somebody else here. Give us somebody else.
There's Dr. Timothy Johnson. He is a big hitter. We are writing 2,000 articles.
He's an ophthalmologist based in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, and we're writing 2,000 articles for him? How many are we writing this month for Elephant in the Room? Do you remember? Do you know offhand?
There's roughly 144, probably close to upwards of 200.
200 articles. And we've been doing that every month for 7 years, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. Now, Andrew, I would like for Andrew's taking the show notes. Andrew, I want to do on today's show is I want to take a bunch of I want to list specific clients because I think a close cousin of lying is vagary. You know what I mean? Where you just, you don't have any specific examples, so you're like, I've been in such feature films as, there's a lot of vagary, a lot of jackassery. So we're going to list some specific examples of clients that are winning. So let's do Tip Top Canine as an example. Ben, how many articles are we writing for that company? Do you know?
Well, there's multiple different locations that we got going on there. But overall, I'd say there's upwards of
maybe 500?
Probably 500, 600.
All right, so Tip Top Canine. If you Google search Tulsa Dog Training today, you will find. So Andrew, put the keyword is Tulsa Dog Training and then equals tiptopcanine.com. And we'll just keep doing this. And by the way, the show notes are listed under 722-19. Content is king. That's how you can find it. So it's 722-19. Content is king. All right, so again, Tip Top Canine. If you type in Tulsa Dog Training, they come up top. A client we've got to the top of Google. If you type in Tulsa Cookies, Barbie Cookies comes up top. We can put that up there. Tulsa Mortgages, SteveCurrington.com. Now, Ben, have you ever seen Steve Currington come into the studio and write content? Have you ever seen it happen since you've been here?
No, I have not. I don't think I've ever seen that man write any lick of content in his life. So,
but here's the thing: is at one point he did. He came in here. He recorded a show. We transcribed it. He did, I think, 150 episodes. And then once he got to the top of Google, he said, I'm done with that. I hated doing that. I don't want to do that again. So now he pays us to do it. And, Ben, why would somebody like Steve Currington, who might make $1,000 to $2,000 of commission per deal, why would he pay us to get into the top of Google, my friend? Why would he pay us?
Well, I mean, it's not worth his time for him personally to sit down and actually write that content because, for him, an hour of work for him could be, $1,000 and he could have us, write that content for that hour and he could be off making the big bucks.
Now, Andrew, I know you're not mic'd up, so you can just yell at us, okay? But Daniel, Heat and Air down there in Amarillo? How many reviews does Daniel have as of today? Do you have any idea how many reviews? Because remember, if we get you to the top of Google, but if your quality is terrible, it doesn't matter. You got to have a great quality. You have great quality and a great quantity of both reviews and content. How many reviews does he have?
534.
534. Holy crap! Andy Mathurin, what's going on, sir? How are you coming on the show? Are you coming on the show? Get on the show. Andy Mathurin here, Britain's very own Andy Mathurin. He's been protesting the show since the 4th of July. He doesn't like the whole patriotic thing. Here, real quick, can we throw on Jaren's mic real quick? Just for a quick second. Jaren, we're going to kick you out here just for a second, just because Andy Mathurin's here and he's just looking jacked. Were you doing curls today for the wonderful wife or for the girl?
I haven't done curls since the morning, actually. I guess it was today.
Hey, let's adjust that mic because Andy's super tall here real quick. Now, right. Andy, you and I went to school together at Oral Roberts University.
We sure did.
Do you remember what years that was roughly?
That was in the year 2000. Actually.
In the year 2000?
2001.
Okay, and then I'd like to get Eugene real quick on Ben's mic. Can we do that too? We're just switching it up. If you're listening to the show here, I promise I have a plan. It's just the plan is evolving, and the plan is coming together. Okay, so we got Andy Mathurin. Andy, how tall are you?
I'm 6'5".
Okay, and you were playing basketball on full scholarship, I believe, at Oral Roberts University.
That's right.
And after stopping playing basketball at Oral Roberts University, you played professional.
I did, yeah.
In what countries?
England, Switzerland, and Spain.
Really? Okay. And then Eugene Willis, my good friend from California. We met at Oral Roberts University, in 99, Eugene?
Yes, sir, 99.
All right, and if you're listening out there, my nickname, my code name is White Lightning, and he is Black Thunder. And we're actually biologically, would you say we're twins? Is that how you would describe it?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, and can you tell the Thrive Nation what you do for a living now, Eugene, and what you're doing out there in L.A.?
I work at UCLA in the purchasing office as a business contracts manager, so we negotiate contracts where we sell UCLA goods and services to outside companies to generate revenue for the university.
Now, this is, and I'd like you guys to share, and if you don't, and this is not, I don't know how you're going to answer this question, but it's kind of fun you're both here at the same time. Because I don't normally have people on the show who both knew me in 99. But a lot of people are like, dude, when did you figure out the grind? And I'm like, I don't ever recall not grinding. I don't know, but Andy, you worked with me at the time.
Yes.
You were a DJ for my first
DJ
business.
Euro.
DJconnection.com. DJ Euro was your DJ name. Were Vanessa and I grinding then, or how would you describe, if you can remember back then, and
I remember clearly.
18, 19-year-old version of myself.
Sure.
Because we have clients who are like, I don't want to write the content.
Sure.
And back in the day, it wasn't about search engine content. It was about making cold calls.
Yep.
Same kind of thing. It's doing stuff you don't want to do. And I find that what you have to do is often not at all related to what you want to do. Can you talk about maybe the work ethic or the mindset or what you saw in the 18-year-old version of myself, good and bad?
I remember coming back after shows at 2, 3 in the morning, and you would be standing out there. Vanessa would be standing out there just waiting for us to return. So always the last to step off the battlefield, as one might say. I remember being, we're so young, but yet you were still recommending books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh, I remember recommending that book.
Yeah, just all these different things just to make those around you better. And I was learning a lot myself at a young age from me in college, so it was good stuff.
I think what was fun about that time is I didn't know about lawsuits, about rules, about boundaries, about being screwed over by employees, about people stealing. I didn't know that any of the DJs I would train up at that point would start companies to compete against me. I never had the thought that guys I went to college with who are sophomores at ORU were going to start companies to compete with me. I never thought about, I didn't have any cynicism at all. Yeah. And I just believed that, like, we were going to be like a band of brothers that was going to just dominate the country. I never ran into any of that cynicism yet. I enjoyed that time.
Right.
Were you kind of naive that way at that age, Andy? Were you kind of naive, or did you look at the world a little more cynically at that age?
Right. You knew me back then. All I was thinking about was basketball. I'm trying to be successful and playing the game. Yeah, that's it. Just dunking on people, trying to hurt people, playing basketball. That's what
How high was your vertical at that point?
It was 40 inches at that 44 actually at that time.
360 dunk. I remember that.
Yeah, that's it.
At the ORU, what was it? The ORU. It's like their version of midnight basketball.
Yeah, that Midnight Madness type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jumping over people and 44. Now it's about 4.5 inches in terms of jumping. But
will you tell the Thrive Nation what you do now for a living? Because you don't typically just show up in the studio. But can you explain what you do for a living now?
Sure. I own a company called Rise Consults, which essentially was really born through the brain of Clay Clark. I also own a company called Royal Empire. I direct for a home health company, so I do a multitude of things because I have 5 kids, which I essentially copied you at as well.
Oh, and do you choose to feed your kids as well?
Sometimes. For the most part, I do.
Okay, so Andy and I, we're like very, very good friends. Our wives are good friends, and one of the few people on the planet I can say, a longtime friend, good guy. And so you it's kind of fun though because Andy, you have the 5 kids. You're self-employed. Why are you self-employed?
I used to work for a medical device company and a corporate company, and I found myself always thinking about the next day in terms of surgeries and not having time for the family. And so not that you have a grand amount of time always working for yourself, but at least I knew that I could be my own boss. Now,
we do the back end for you. So you have clients right now that you work with that are, let's say it's a medical client. You coach directly, you consult. And then Make Your Life Epic, my company, does the back-end work.
That's exactly
so
right.
Ben and the team are doing the search engine work for your clients. So it's kind of like you buy a computer from Dell, and it comes loaded with Microsoft software.
That's it.
So it's kind of like we're the software, but you're the hardware, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Can you explain how search engine optimization has impacted the sales of maybe a few of your clients?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it really is like pure magic. I won't go into the specific details.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
like pure magic. A lot of the clients that we have now, all of a sudden, different leads are just streaming in. Whereas before, we've had clients that literally didn't have a website before.
Is
Didn't have any
Restore
Google
Home
reviews.
Health, are they doing well as a result of Google? Is that
Yeah,
helping?
Absolutely, they're doing excellent. As a result of that.
But also, they can't suck.
No,
They do a good job.
they do. Yeah,
But see, that I want to get Ben's take
Sure.
on that in a minute, because there's clients that say, I want to get to the top of Google, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Right.
But the problem is, once you get to the top, to quote TD Jakes, sometimes it's better that your business is working in the dark.
That's it.
Sometimes you're not good enough to have a mic yet. So one of the worst things that could possibly happen is to get found on The Voice,
Yeah.
and America laughs at you because you're terrible. You know what I mean? So some of you need to be thankful you're on page 7 right now.
That's it.
It's probably too high for you. You need to go to page 9 right now. But then once you get good, then they get the good reviews, and it's a virtuous cycle. Can you talk to me? What's the hardest part for your clients as it relates to either getting reviews or writing content? What's the hardest part?
I think there's a pride portion that comes in there with just asking for reviews in the very beginning. But once they get used to it and they realize that people are actually calling in as a result of of reading those reviews,
Oh, Shunda.
it clicks, a light goes off. You know, it actually turns on.
Do most of your clients pay to have articles written, or do they prefer to write the content themselves?
They've done a mixture. Actually, pay for the content. I think they try to write it for themselves for a while there. And then they realize that there's a lot that goes into writing.
Have you ever
articles.
tried to write content just as a way to showcase how little you like writing content, just for fun?
Yes,
Have you ever
I
thought,
have.
I'm going to do it myself?
I did. Yeah, I did it for a good few months, actually. And then after a while, I think I went a little crazy, stir crazy maybe, and I realized I didn't want to be in a room, locked in a room by myself writing content. So paid others to do it, and it worked out just well.
What I find, and you tell me if I'm incorrect here, I find that a lot of people want to write the content, and then they sit down and they go, oh, frick,
Yeah.
I'm writing content.
This is a lot.
Frick!
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, here we go. At such and such home health. No, I don't like.
let me start
at
again.
Clark Home Health. No, at Home Health. Clark. Oh,
This is
no.
too much.
Frick!
Too
I gotta
much.
get a coffee.
This is- yeah.
Frick! And then they're like, okay, at Clark Home Health, we offer the best services
Yeah.
for the people of. And then like the phone rings, their wife comes in, like, frick!
Right.
I lost my thought.
Yeah. What's on
Frick.
Netflix right now? Let's put a show on.
So now they're setting the alarm for 2 a.m. to write content, so they can be quiet.
Yeah.
And then they oversleep.
That's it.
And they're like, I'm going to write it in my truck. That's what I'm going to do. And then someone's like, Andy, is that you? Good to see you, buddy.
It is
What are you
me.
doing in this
It is-
Walgreens
this
parking
is
lot?
a great distraction.
Writing
I like
content,
It.
leave me alone. I mean, seriously, that's a hard thing to do.
It is. It
Do you
is.
prefer writing the content, or do you prefer
want
to pay a
somebody
team?
else to do it? Please, somebody else do it. Take care of it. I don't want to see the content. Just handle it, please.
Now, Eugene, you're studying to be an attorney, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And when do you predict you're going to be an attorney?
This fall.
Now, do you enjoy writing copious amounts of things? Do you like it? I mean, is it fascinating? Do you enjoy writing words?
I enjoy writing because that's the training you get to be detailed but precise, on point.
So you like writing.
It's necessary.
But see, that's why you want to be an attorney. And the
Yes.
average person does not want to be an attorney, nor do they like being around attorneys because they can't write. The attorneys who, write and read. And I mean, I know people who have signed massive contracts for their home or their business without reading them because they're like, frick, there's so many words in that thing. And as you know, an attorney, the devil's in the details on there. But I think you would, I don't know. I mean, Andy, you're not, if you could choose, I mean, for me, if I could vote, I would prefer not to write my own content. I'm going to vote for that. Andy,
Yeah.
if you could vote to write your own or to have someone else do it, what would you do?
I would certainly have somebody else. In terms of writing the content for the sites,
Yeah.
absolutely have somebody else do it. and
Now,
take care of it.
Eugene, would you prefer to write your own content for your own law firm, knowing that you need 1,000 words of content per page, or would you prefer to have somebody else do it?
I prefer to do it myself, but I
Ooh.
would
Sick man.
definitely have someone else objective viewpoint on it.
You're like a modern Viking. That's impressive. Very
So
few people.
I
wanna
like
write their
getting
own.
feedback on it. So, another person's perspective, but I definitely think you can get your point across. And I think, I forgot his name, who spoke earlier. He talked about how people, make things a little bit too complicated.
Yeah, Ben. Yeah.
I think a lot of, attorneys that I've worked with and for, they talk about using plain English. So going to a more simplistic style of communicating or writing that the common man or woman can understand.
Yes.
As simple, concise, to the point. Some people think more is better, but sometimes simple and to the point is a lot more effective in terms of what you want to.
Now, you said something though. You said it's required. Now I want to ask you and Andy 2 more questions. Then I'll let you guys get back to your day of awesomeness. But you said it's required.
It's necessary.
Necessary. I'm sorry. Necessary.
Necessary.
Now, here's what's interesting about that. Most people are not interested in what's necessary. They're interested in what feels good. So as an example, if you're out there and you have had an extramarital affair, I'm not hating you. Okay, I'm not the guy who's saying, hey, we hate you. I believe in forgiveness, but work with me on this. I believe that the idea behind the extramarital affair was based upon wanting to feel good without getting too much into the details. You're like, well, my current spouse is maybe not treating me with the infatuation that they used to when we were first dating, so I'll just go out to lunch with this female colleague employee. I'm not going to have sex. I'm just going to have a conversation, and that feels good to be appreciated, have someone listen to you. And then it's like, let's do that twice. Then all of a sudden you're like, do you want to ride home? And then all of a sudden, and then you go, what happened? Well, it's because you're doing what feels good. Another example, I think most people say, I don't really like to make sales calls. And then that's how you stay broke as a joke. When you don't have a marketing budget, you got to make calls. You say, well, I don't want to make calls and I don't want to have a marketing budget. Okay, then you are going to be scammed by Ty Lopez. That's how it's going to work. And then you're going to sign up for his Get Rich Quick program because it feels good. It feels good to know that for what? $2,000, you can have a ClickFunnels automated and all of a sudden you're getting rich. And I'm not ripping on you. I think everybody listening has been at least to meeting 2 of a multi-level. We've all been to meeting 1 or 2 or 3, or we've been to meeting 7 about a get-rich real estate thing. Everybody's gone to door 7, step 5, step 16 of some get-rich-quick thing, and pretty soon you realize it's expensive to try to get rich quick, And so I want to tap into I want to get Andy your mindset on this. When you were playing basketball, what was the lowest body fat percentage you got to?
It was about 4 to 5%.
And you're how tall?
6'5".
How much were you weighing at that time?
I was around 215.
Why? Why would you be that disciplined? What was your deal? What's wrong with you?
Well, it's not just a physical edge, but it's a psychological edge as well.
Oh.
If you feel like you've had, too much food, or if you're not eating the right foods, then when you're in a game and everybody's good, what edge do you have?
So, but you disciplined yourself there.
Absolutely.
Did you feel good? Not when you were, denying yourself food you wanted to eat, but did you feel good about how you felt when you were in the games or when you were practicing? Did you feel so you liked the result?
I did like the result, and you really had to put in the work.
But I go back to this phrase I say all the time on this show, but inspiration really is the reward. It's not a feeling you needed to feel before you started. Right?
Yeah, exactly right.
But how did you get started then? If you weren't necessarily, how did you get? Because I think everybody out there, we want to get maybe in better shape, or we want to get to the top of Google, or we want to sell something, and we're just like, I know what to do now.
Yeah.
Because we remember, first we don't know what to do. I get it. But then you come to a workshop, you now know what to do. You've read, every Men's Health. You've subscribed. You got the new shoes. The new workout shoes. You got the new stuff. But then, how did you fight the demons and actually show up to work out? How did you do that?
I think the biggest thing was really surrounding myself with people who looked like what I wanted to be. So I did get a chance to be around NBA players. I did get a chance to be around guys who were successfully played in Europe. Those that actually went to college used to tell me about how it was for them in America and what a full scholarship was, and just all these things. So being around people that were where I wanted to be, I continued to do that, and it's no different in business, I don't think.
Now, I want to ask you this here, Eugene. You studied to be an attorney. How long have you had to go to school for that, my friend? How long?
Undergrad, 4 years, and then I did 4 years of law school. I did a night program where I worked full-time, 2 jobs while going to law school. Nice. So paid off all my student loans while in law school. Well, my law school tuition and books. So definitely making those sacrifices.
Did you like it?
I didn't like it, but it's working 7 days a week and 4 nights a week of school.
Yeah.
So, tremendously taxing, but, again, use that word necessary to kind of get to, the point I wanted to get to.
I have found that people who are willing to do what's necessary and who don't care about how they feel are the ones who win. So you are a guy who will become an attorney soon, and you will make more money disproportionately than the average person because it's hard to get that degree. Andy, you played professional basketball, which this just in, I think it's, I'm not really sure, but I think not everyone gets to do. This just in, right?
Right. Sure.
So I'm just asking the listeners out there, I want to ask you guys for encouragement. Not that you're search engine experts, but if you were going to encourage the listeners out there who are going, okay, I know I need to write the content, but I don't want to.
Right.
What encouragement would you give somebody out there that can't afford to pay somebody like Ben and the team to write the content? What encouragement would you give them, Andy? And I want to get to your take on this, Eugene. What encouragement would you give somebody who knows what to do, but they just, they don't want to?
For sure. If you go back to basketball, really, I always knew that there was thousands of other people out there really working as hard as they could. So I wanted to try to work that a little bit harder and just know that other people are out there either getting their content written or they're writing content themselves. So just do it. If they're getting Google reviews, you get so many more than them. Just have that mindset that everybody's out there trying to do it. You just need to do it a little bit more.
Okay. Now, Eugene, what advice would you have for somebody out there that's stuck in the rut and they're going, I really, really want to, I want to get to the top of Google. I know I need to get to the top of Google. I know I need to write the content. Just like how you had to study to become an attorney, you're going through that process, and they're like, but I don't want to. What advice would you have, encouragement for somebody who's kind of fighting the mental cobwebs? There's kind of demons almost in their mind, literal like demons in their mind, where they're going, I just can't get the motivation. What advice would you have for them?
I would say just try. I think one of the main things is try, and then in addition to that is look at examples of what you want to create. So I think a lot of attorneys do that. Most attorneys aren't creating great briefs or motions from scratch. They're using language examples from other successful briefs or motions, and they're kind of emulating that to a degree and then putting their own spin on it, and they're practicing. So I think once they see, you can achieve a level of success, that you have that ability, just kind of making that starting point, then I think once you get past the first sentence or so, you can kind of go from that. So look at examples of things that were successessful, and then you can see that, I can do that.
Do you listen to music? Like, when you're working out there, Andy, I mean, are you listening to is this kind of you get, is this?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Is that what you're working?
I could lift really heavy to that. Yes.
Is this the kind of, no, seriously, do you listen to music when you're working?
I got some old school here and there, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, some Biggie, yeah, absolutely.
Would it be like this?
Turn the track up.
That is Biggie, right?
We got to turn the track up. He wants to turn the track up.
That's good, let's do it.
Do you like that kind of thing, though? That kind of.
I get into it.
So I think a lot of people, though, we don't know how to manipulate ourselves.
Right.
Oh, there it is. You see, people don't know how to manipulate themselves. So I know for me, I cannot have a good day unless I'm moving fast, walking fast, getting things done.
Right.
I get pissed.
Yeah.
I get pissed. You want to ruin my Saturday? Take me out to eat. I hate it. I hate it. What kind of beverage do you want? I'm like, I want you to go away and let me serve myself as fast as possible, and then that's a great meal for me. I hate the waiting. I'm like tapping my feet. My wife will point out, you don't get points for eating fast. I'm like, okay. But because it kills my momentum. So I know for me, if I eat during the day, it slows down my mojo. That's how I am.
Yeah.
Other people say if I don't eat, I can't think. But I don't. That's how I am. I also know that I have to have positive music. That's why this atmosphere. I mean, Eugene, you've been in the building for the first time today. How would you describe the mojo or lack thereof of the dojo?
Incredible. Energy throughout, people excited, happy, smiling, authentic.
If people can't see it, can you describe what you see or what you were thinking when you came in, maybe? Because we haven't really seen each other for 10 years. We talk on the phone sometimes, but you hadn't really been here. I think you might have seen it online, but how would you describe that?
You can feel it. You can feel the energy. You can feel people excited, slapping hands, patting each other on the back, ringing bells, excited to get to the next call, the next deal. So you can really feel people positive about being here,
And see, that starts with the day how you start your day. You pull back that rubber band in the morning, pull it back, pull it back, pull it back, pull it up, Luke, pull it up, and then you go, and your day is great. And that's that morning meditation, that morning prayer time, whatever that is. But if you're listening out there today, you've got to find a way to get yourself motivated every day, which that turns out to not be a fun thing sometimes.
Right.
Because right now, Eugene, you're visiting, and apparently we're going to go look at buying a church today, which is hilarious. How does that work? My friend's visiting from California, and we're like, okay, we're visiting, we have family time, and then I got to go look at buying a church. Why? Because there's a real estate deal that I'm working on, and the timing maybe isn't what I would like it to be, but that happens, or a key employee quits, and how do you fight through that? I think it's every day you got to recharge. Do you have a routine you do every day, Andy? Do you have a routine? Do you wake up, hop in a ice bath, listen to Rocky IV soundtrack, listen to Eminem, write a poem, do some finger paintings. What's your morning routine?
I do. I wake up, and no matter how early it is, and even if my wife isn't going to be up for another hour and a half, I still make her a coffee and have it by her side. That's my morning
That's your
routine.
move.
I make sure I go.
One-upping everyone.
That's right.
Unfreaking believable, that guy.
Go and work out.
Dirty.
And then you really get the day started at 6 o'clock after the workout.
Now, Eugene, you and I worked in a call center together back in the day. We were 18 years old. Do you remember Lex, our boss?
Yes.
I don't know if you remember some of these details, but Lex wore huge hoop earrings. Remember that? And he was built like Terry Crews, big guy. And Lex used to I don't know what he said to you versus what he said to me. I don't know, because sometimes we had different shifts. But I just know that I was always a little bit scared of him. And he'd always say stuff like, hey, Clay, get on that phone. Or the phone's not gonna call the leads themselves. Or, hey, I hear us getting poor. We need to get on that phone. Or he'd say, hey, Clay, guess what? And I'm like, what? You're not on the phone. Oh, okay. Or Clay, hey, do you know I was thinking about you getting on the phone? And he would always do that kind of crap to me all the time. Do you have any memories of the kind of people that were required to hold us accountable to making hundreds of calls a day? Because we were selling gas rebates, which is the biggest pile of crap in the world, and somehow we did it. I think we were doing that, and then we sold some DirecTV packages and stuff. Do you remember what kind of things they would do to keep us on the phone?
Basically intimidation.
Yeah.
Do your job or you're gone. I mean, it was that simple.
And they're always interviewing people while you're working.
So, they was like, okay, that person in there might take your job. So it was kind of
while you're working,
job,
there's
get
a
on
guy,
the phone.
And you notice there's 8 people and there's 7 phones, and you're like, what's he doing? Oh, he's starting today. He's starting today. Where's he gonna sit?
Yeah.
At somebody's desk. Get back on the phone. But we made hundreds of calls, and it was the auto dialer. Remember that?
Yeah.
So they would automatically dial the next phone, and then we're on you put down the phone, and immediately you're on the phone again, because it automatically plugs in the person who's on the phone. Do you remember that?
Yes, and then sometimes you get the same person that you got from the day before, the week before. They'd remember your voice.
Yeah.
And then didn't I tell you not to call?
Oh, yeah.
And you had little codes in the computer to tell you, do not call or take me off the list.
Now, here's the deal. If you're out there listening right now, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. And this is not this is not designed to benefit me. It's designed to benefit you. You need to either A, have self-discipline, or B, hire somebody who's got some serious discipline to kick your butt all around that office. Mm-hmm. And I've seen it that way. I've seen people who are very, very smart people who say, you know what, I'm not going to work out on my own, so I need a personal trainer. Mm-hmm. Or you know what, I'm not going to do my accounting, so I'm going to hire a personal accountant to help me out there. And Eugene, you saw my attorney today, Wes Carter. He's looking at all my legal stuff because I'm not going to look at that legal stuff. I used to, and I hated it. I spent my whole weekend looking at a contract going, well, I don't know, Clay, what do you think? I don't know. I'm like, why am I talking to myself? This contract. I'd spent all weekend working on a contract, trying to buy something at Office Depot, the little templates, LegalZoom, modify that thing, thinking it's super hot, have people sign it, and then something bad happens, and they're like, well, we can't use this contract. Why? Because it's invalid, because it's not correct. And I'm going, frick, I'll hire an attorney. So I think if you're out there and you're stuck, you got to hire someone to push you. Mm-hmm. You played football for a while at Florida State, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Who was your coach then?
Bobby Bowden.
How was that?
It was great. He delegated kind of in the manner that you're talking about. So he hired experts to push you, knowing their strengths. Kind of different positions have different mindsets. So defensive line, linebackers, defensive backs.
How much did you weigh at that time?
280.
What position did you play?
Defensive end.
And did he run around going, hey, Willis, you feel like doing some push-ups today there, buddy?
It wasn't a request. It was always you're doing this and doing it now with a couple other choice words for you.
Really?
Yes.
Give me, without cursing, go back and think about practices at Florida State and the worst moment where you're like, this right here, this is why Florida State, Tomahawk, Chop, these guys are top 20. This is why we're top 20, and this is why I hate this place. This is why I love this coach, but I hate him right now. This is why we're winning a lot and why I feel like I'm losing a lot right now. What was that moment was the worst part of practice, the worst ever?
A two-a-day in July, early August. After your second practice, you just lifted weights that morning at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's 90 degrees,
That's
humid.
Beautiful.
You see guys falling out, jumping in ice tubs taller than they are.
Yeah.
where the whole body is cramping up.
Now, if
You
he
can't feel your legs,
now-
your feet.
Now, I'm not going to go politics. I'm just going to talk about life. Okay, I'm not going to go left or right or center. I'm just going to give you this idea. Why, if you own a business, are you running around asking your employees if they want to make calls? I see this ridiculousness all the time. It's like, Clay, how many calls do you want to make? And I'm like, 7. Well, why don't we do a little bit more? Why don't you do a big stretch goal? Okay, 10. I mean, get out of here. Set a quota, make it happen. If they get it done, do it. If not, you're going, well, but I was listening to this leadership podcast that was taught by this broke person. I mean, leadership expert who's never run a business. I mean, who's an expert who has and then they're telling me get out of here. I mean, positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. I don't care. Make them do it. And if they won't, get them out of here. That's just how it works. Andy, you probably had a great coach.
Yeah.
You probably had a bad coach. Let's talk about the great coach.
Sure.
Did the great coach ask you, hey, do you guys want to run crushers today? Do you guys want to run
No,
a
there
little
was
crusher action there, bud?
no
Oh, blasty
debates.
blast?
No debates. No.
No.
There's no questions. Just do it. Just get it done. And had a series of really good coaches.
Were you afraid of your dad?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did he ever have a belt action, belt technology?
No, he had a stick, actually.
He had a stick?
He used the actual stick. I think it had nails on the end, but let's not talk about that.
No, but so he, like, if you got in trouble, did he ever like go where he'd start to loosen that belt? Because my dad would do is my dad would look
Right.
at me and he'd say, so you said that to your mom?
Right.
Like, well, what had happened was and he's like, so you said that to your mom? Okay. And he just starts to like loosen the belt. And I'm like,
Yeah, that was enough.
hey,
Right.
it's like, I'm trying to negotiate. I'm like, what I was saying when I said I hate my mom, I was saying like, I hate how much I love mom so much.
Yeah.
I just forgot that part. And it was just like and I'm just trying every technique. And then you shut the door. And he's like, you go in there and I want you to think about what you've been saying.
Right.
While I come up with a plan. And I'm like, what's the plan? And he's like, oh, it's going to be a plan. And I'm like, no, I don't want the. And he had me sit in that room for like, it seemed like weeks. It was probably just an hour, maybe 10
Right.
minutes, but it seemed like months.
Yeah.
And then he would open that door, and I'm like, Satan. And I'm like trying to dial 911. I'm trying to like find like, what was that Maury Povich show on abuse or something? I got to call that line. I'm like, just scrambling, looking for stuff, And I realize he's unplugged the phone lines. He's drawn the blinds. And then it's like time for that belt technology to work its magic.
Yeah, and it worked.
And it only took one or two of those. And I was reading through the handbooks in the office, and I don't believe we can do that.
I don't think so.
I don't think. I was like,
Right.
is that something we can do, Dr. Z? He said, no, you can't do it. I called Wes. Wes, can I use some belt technology? He says, nope, you can't. Because I remember my dad having this little phrase saying, when there's a whip, there's a way. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, the guys who built the pyramids, those guys? I'm like, am I a slave? So I'm just saying is we have to be kind of a healthy fear of your boss or your coach, do you not?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you do.
Have you ever I'm not asking for the name, but did you ever play for a coach who made it seem impossible to ever win on the road because he's weak, and he would ask you guys, like, guys, do you think you can keep it competitive tonight? Did you ever play for a weak coach?
For a very short time, yes.
And
Yes.
what's it like playing for a weak coach?
It's not a lot of fun. You do need leadership in the coach. You really have to rely on the leadership of your players if you have a coach like that. And
So Bowden, though, was tough guy. Tough guy?
Not tough at all.
Not tough.
But the assistants were tough.
So he was the good cop.
He was a good cop. He delegated. He trusted his
All right.
advisors, his coordinators, assistants.
Okay, now I want to tap into Ben's witness to Ben's wisdom about this real quick. So Ben, I'm gonna have you hop on Eugene's mic, and thank you, Andy, for stopping by the booth,
worries.
man. I appreciate you.
Good to see you.
And thank you for moving your Model T around today for us. You're a beautiful man.
No problem.
Now, Ben, I'm not asking for you to share with the listeners how many articles a specific member of our team can do. I'm just asking you, do you set a quota for every teammate?
Yeah, because every single teammate has a different, I want to say, writing capacity, and I don't want to push them past what I know that they're capable of, and so I have a certain limit I know that they can write, and I just push them like a hair past that.
What percentage of people just can't do it? Like they come and they mentally shut down. They could do it. They just mentally shut down. They make a big deal out of it, and they just. If every 2 people we might hire, how many of them are maybe out of 10? Out of every 10 we hire, how many of them just cannot drink a nice warm glass and shut the heck up and get started? How many of them just cannot? Out of 10.
Ooh, that's a tough
So we
one.
have a great team, man. We have a great team, but we've had to do a lot of tryouts. That's what I call when someone gets fired. Tryout. How many? What's a percentage out of 10?
I would say probably about 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10. It's
1 out of 10 can't do it.
so of the people that we hire, of the people that have the tryout, I would say about 2 out of that 10
2 out of 10 can make it.
can do it.
So
Maybe
you're saying
1
that?
out of
Wait,
10,
You're
yeah.
saying 2 out of 10 people that we hire can make it.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's I mean,
Well, that's not encouraging at all. Now, what if I held on to the people that can't do it because they won't do it, and I'm like, well, let's lower our standards. How many articles could we pump out if that was the case? If we lowered it to their standards?
well, if it was what everyone wanted to write, then we'd be
Living in a van down by the river.
Yeah, living down by the river.
How much can somebody make, and I'm not asking per transaction or per thing, but how much can they make per hour on the search engine optimization team per hour if they really are doing a good job? Give me a hard number.
$25 an hour.
Then that's more than they pay at Lowe's.
Most definitely, yep.
Now, I worked at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. No hate, no game, no shame in my game. I'm not mad at you or not talking down to you if you have an entry-level job, because I had multiple ones, and Eugene was at one of those with me. But $25 an hour in Tulsa, Oklahoma is pretty good.
Oh, yeah, it's so nice.
I mean, that's like 50 G's a year. And how young are some of the people over there, dude? How old are these people?
There's
Tell us some of the people. Give us their first name and approximately how old they are. You know, like in their 30s, 40s, 20s, whatever.
So right now, this is me. I'm Ben, and I am 23.
Okay.
There is Natalie. She is 17, actually. She's just
and that's your sister-in-law?
Sister-in-law, correct.
Wow,
yeah.
a lot of nepotism going on there. Wow, Ben. Okay, that's what's going on.
There is Yvette. She's 23, 24.
Is she your twin as well?
She's not.
Oh, because she related to you?
Nope.
Looks just like you. Okay, continue.
There is a new member, Ja.
Ja, I love
He's
Ja.
killing it.
The Asian sensation. I prefer Asian search engine people. I love Asian. I'd say this: Caucasian search engine people. I have a hard time with white people.
Just the worst.
I'm going through an issue right now with white people. We have a lot of Asian clients. They always get their action items done. The Caucasian, you don't see a lot of Caucasians that are aware of how to turn on a mower. And in the event that you teach them how to turn on a lawnmower, they won't push it. Because like, I got carpal tunnel, and I feel called to be a manager. You're like, just because you were born into a white family and you get out of here, stop it. Do you have a little bit of entitlement we have to deal with a little bit there from the middle classers? You know, I need some good people that start off at the bottom, people that really have that grind, they want it. You know what I mean? I need that first generation immigrant kind of SEO people. But continue. Who else do we have here?
There is Jaron. He's kind of brand new. He's
despite his whiteness, can he get the job done?
Oh yeah, he can get it done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who else?
There is there's Wendy. She's in her 40s. I don't ask her age. You know, it's
no. She looks like she's like 18, probably.
Yeah,
she's
probably
21.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. Whatever. Who else do you have?
There's. Oh, I'm just totally blanking.
A lot of people though.
There's Casey. Yeah, he's a brand new.
Yeah, you got great people over there though. Okay,
most
but
definitely.
again, why do we charge our clients $12 an article? Why? Because someone's got to write that thing, and then Ben, someone has to what that thing?
Upload it. To
Upload
the
that
website.
thing, and then somebody has to optimize the website thing, and then send it to the Google thing. There's like 3 to 4 steps all the time. Boom, 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 and it is wild how many articles you guys are pumping out over there.
Oh yeah.
But we do it for $12 an article because we shopped around. I used to hire companies, and the average company charges $150 an article, and 12 turns out to be less.
Oh yeah. My math is
Just
correct.
doing the math. I was just thinking about that. That deserves a Drake mega point. Thank you, Drake. Okay, so now we bring in Jaron into the studio. Now, real quick, Ben, how long have you worked with us?
I've been here 9 months since October 2018.
9 months.
Oh yeah.
And how many months in did you recommend that your wife come and join the team?
I think I tried the first month, but then she was going to school at the time, and then around January, end of December, early January.
Do we convince her to drop out?
Yeah, we convinced me and her as well.
Yes.
So
another victory.
Yes!
Okay. So anyway, so she drops out, and she's so far as a result, I'm sure 100% is a result of your mentorship, but she is the fastest person I know to become a coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
She's
Fastest
clearly
I
the
know.
better half. Oh yeah.
There you go. So good job, Ben. Good mentorship. I'm not sure what you're doing there, but keep giving her the steroids. Now, so Jaron, how long have you been on the team now?
This is actually my second week.
Second week. And make sure you eat that microphone like it's your favorite corn dog. You know. So you've been here 2 weeks. Can you describe the atmosphere up here?
Honestly, I've never seen anything like it. I've worked at many places over the years, and I just absolutely love the Thrive experience up here. every single morning when I walk in, it doesn't matter if it's 4 a.m. or it's 7 a.m. Everyone in here is just absolutely getting it 24/7.
I want to make sure people get this, though. The reason why people always compliment the team is because I fire the idiots.
You are not wrong. It is absolutely amazing not having a negative.
So it's
people.
interesting, though, is firing the idiots. Let me tell you what happens when you fire the idiots. True story. And you guys can disagree with me if you want. But if you go, say you're at church, you're a Mormon, Ben. Okay, so you're in the Mormon church.
Oh, yeah.
Jaron, let's say, are you a Christian guy, Judeo-Christian?
Yes, non-denominational.
Okay, so you're going to like a church on the move, okay? And you're going to the Latter-day Saints, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you're the Latter-day Saints and you're urinating, all right? Is that allowed at the Latter-day Saints? Is there urinals there?
Yeah, there are urinals, in the bathroom.
Okay, so you're urinating and you're urinating, Jaron. And in a non-denominational church, if you're urinating, is it cool for someone you don't know to say, hey, how's it going? Is that cool in your mind at that is it cool while you are urinating, while you are doing your thing? Is it cool for a person that you don't know to say, hey, what's going on?
I don't think church is going to involve my answer. I just think that's kind of weird all around.
Okay. So at church, you don't give more of a hall pass? Like you wouldn't say, because it's a religious place, you would say, sure, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Good, great day. Here, let me shake your hand. Nice watch.
No, that's not cool.
Okay, so all I'm just saying is that I go to a church, and I went to this church, and this guy says, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. And I'm going, I don't know this guy. So I'm doing my business, And then I finish washing my hands, and he's like, hey, talking to you. It's a true story. This is the last time I went to this specific church. And he says, hey, you fired my daughter. And I said, all right. Well, I'm sure she wasn't doing a good job, It's probably what we don't typically round up our best people and fire them. It's not a get-rich move, And the guy's like, you think it's really funny, don't you? Well, this is her job. And I'm like, well, it was her job, but she doesn't work here anymore, I'm sure. I have no idea who this man is. And this is the time when I owned Epic Photography. And if I had to describe this person's energy who I fired, it's kind of like if you took Jabba the Hutt down a few notches on the energy scale. So no energy. And I'm going to have Andrew hop on the mic real quick. Andrew, take Ben's mic real quick here. So Epic Photography, when I owned it, Andrew, please explain how the merit-based pay system would work and then what kind of promises we made to the bride.
Yeah, so with the merit-based pay, basically you'd shoot the wedding, and the following day or maybe the following week after they had returned from their honeymoon, you'd give them a call and do a quality control call, like a loop.
To see how happy they are on a scale of 1 to 10 with
Right.
the photos we provided and the service, the way we provided it.
Right.
And then we wanted to make sure the photos were given to the bride and the groom within 2 weeks of their wedding.
True.
Because that's what we promised, right?
Yep.
Okay, continue.
And so we'd give them a call and make sure they were the photos were returned on time and of the quality that they were looking for.
Got it.
And whether or not, so we would survey the bride on a scale of 1 to 10, and based on what they rated the photos and the photographer and the experience with the night and everything, that is how you would get paid. So if you got a 10, then you would get. It is. I don't remember the exact amount, but you would get paid more than if you were to.
So
get
you're
a
saying
5.
if I called the bride, surveyed the bride, said on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy were you with Andrew's photography? And if they said a 10, you would make more than the guy who got a 5?
True.
Wait a minute, that's called merit-based pay. That you can't do that in teaching. You can't do that. You can't do that in pro sports, but they do. You can't do that in college sports, but they do. So bureaucracies don't like that kind of thing. But anyway, so. If you got a bad review, like if a bride said, I'll just give you some examples of complaints I had back in the day. One bride said, hey, I would love it if your photographer wouldn't show all of her cleavage. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of harsh. Or I would have loved it if the photographer would have got there on the day of my wedding. And you're like, what? No, they missed it. They showed up late. The other one got there. We had 2 photographers. One got there, one didn't. But they told me to say that they did because they got there at the end of my wedding, and they said not to say anything because they get in trouble. It'd be awesome if your photographer wasn't chain smoking while I'm going down the aisle. It would be wonderful if they would stop texting while taking photos of me. It would have been great if they would have not smelled like they woke up in a van down by the river. It would be awesome if they did a good job. So when I get enough bad reviews, my rule at the time, I think it's pretty lenient, was if you got one bad review that was not because you made a mistake, but because you chose to be a disruption to the wedding.
Right.
One warning, second time you're gone. Is that a fair policy in your mind, or do you not like the policy?
I think that's definitely fair.
So this particular person's daughter, after further review, found out this person had 2 write-ups where it was one, they were super late to a wedding, by over an hour. Wow. Late to someone's wedding for an hour late to the wedding. And then the other one was they just simply missed the 2-week deadline. And I'm sure you saw that move.
Oh, yeah.
They go, I mailed it. I mailed off the photos.
I totally mailed it.
You've heard that.
Oh, yeah.
So I found out this person missed that multiple times, but it was only documented once.
Mm-hmm.
So I fire the person, and when you fire the person, what happens, Andrew? There's two great things. There's one great thing and one bad thing that happens. What bad thing happens?
The bad thing is typically they're not happy. So you have an unhappy previous employee.
And they typically go home and say, Dad, I got fired for doing a bad job.
Then they become an apostle on the negative side.
Do they typically go home and say, Dad, I got fired for doing a bad job?
No,
Which is why I'm 30 and live at home.
Make stuff up.
No.
All the
so
time.
they make stuff up.
Yep.
Then they go on to Reddit. That's step 2.
Mm-hmm.
You got to write a bad review there. And under an anonymous account.
Yep.
Step 3, you got to go on to Google, make an anonymous account.
Yep. Google
Step
review.
4, Glassdoor.
All of them.
Facebook, start talking and writing, and people love to rip on their boss.
Create a page on Facebook. How about that?
Create a page.
Yeah.
And you just get focused. You commit yourself. You rather than looking for a new job, you lament. And you just get bitter.
Victim.
And so, but then the good thing happens in the office. They're like, oh, man, the office just had a colon cleanse. I'm so glad they're gone. Woo! No. Seriously, people in the office are celebrating. People love it. They're like,
good energy.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. The witch is dead. And I'm like, hey, there's no B in the word witch, guys. Ding dong. I'm like, guys, clean up your language here. So when you fire people, you get the good.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, man, I'm so glad that person's gone. But there's the bad of like everyone in, Tulsa. Like last night I went to the Drillers game to watch my kids cheer. I ran into 3 ex-employees pretty quickly.
Ooh, that's fun.
It's never good. You guys want a pretzel? How's unemployment going? Okay,
they work there.
So
That's
Jaron,
great.
I want you to share with the folks out here. You came to a group interview. What was your experience like at the interview up here, and what did you like or not like about it? Just tell us what that was like.
Well, first off, a group interview is an easy way to actually make your way through the potential people that are going to be working for you. So whenever you come up here, it's a lot easier to lie in a one-on-one to know what questions are coming up or being able to hide exactly who you are. But in a group interview, whenever you're put on the spot in front of a lot of people, you really show your character. And so whenever you come up to do a group interview, you're really going to be able to find out a lot about your
How many people were
hires.
in your I interview all the candidates Wednesday night at 6. How many people were in your group? Do you remember more than 10, 20?
10 to 20. I'd say around 15.
Could you tell right away who we would definitely not hire?
Oh, yeah. It is definitely clear. And the other really great thing is that...
It's so funny because, like, everybody is aware that they are late by 47 minutes except for them. And they hustle in trying to play it off like they're, like, by sprinting through the threshold of the door will somehow get them more on time. Do you see this, Ben? Do you not? I mean, it's crazy. I mean, but again, being late, that's crazy. Or the no-shows, those are fabulous. What are other things that you picked up? And don't mention any specific person. I don't want them listening to this and guessing who they are. But what was something else where you noticed, like, that person's definitely not getting a job?
One that's really mutually beneficial to you and the people coming in is it is automatically clear to a lot of people, this is not your 9 to 5, and I do not want to work here. We had a couple people walk out in the middle of the interview, and it saves you time, and it saves them time.
Why do I have an Israeli flag up in my office?
I have no clue. Why don't you let me know?
Because it offends the people I don't like.
That's outstanding.
That's my deal. Why do I put up Patriots flags? Why do I put up Boston Celtics jerseys? Why do I put up Elon Musk quotes? Because I want it to polarize. You know what I mean? Not a lot of bosses have a taxidermied squirrel given to him by a former employee. But I do. You know what I mean? Because there's like stories everywhere. There's quotes everywhere. And it's a different culture, but you're either going to love it or you hate it. But what's really neat is we're all on the same team.
I completely agree.
Now, let me. What's your favorite sport? Because I want to get into a spirited argument with you about it.
Tulsa Oilers hockey.
Really?
That is correct.
Okay. So this is an example. You like hockey. You're on the record.
Yes.
Andrew, what is your favorite sport?
If I had one, it would probably be football.
Okay. So this is what we're gonna do real quick here. Is we're gonna say that you can love hockey. You can. It's great. I can't control what sports you like, and I also want to say you're 100% right in your choice. I'm also saying I hate hockey with a passion. I love football, and not even the sport of football. I just love the Patriots. And before that, I was obsessed with, for a very, 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 very long time, with Brett Favre and how many games in a row he would play. I just wanted to see. That was like my only thing I cared about was Brett Favre and his streak. And then before that, it was like the Timberwolves. So I like get into obsessions about a specific thing. But all I'm saying is, have you ever taken someone who hates hockey to a hockey game with you?
Oh, yeah, and they always love it afterwards because hockey is the best sport.
Oh, see, there we go. But I'm just saying, is there certain people? Okay, well, let's do camping. Do you like camping?
50-50. With the military, camping is mandatory, and it's not as fun.
Have you ever taken someone camping who doesn't want to go camping?
Oh, yeah.
And how is it good for either party?
Typically not, no.
Andrew, do you like camping?
No.
My wife can tell you stories. If you want to get her fired up, just say, hey, tell me about when he went camping. Because it's bad. Because we went, Lake Powell is, you guys know what Lake Powell is? Lake Powell is like a canyon that they flooded. So it's a massive lake, but it looks like a canyon. And we had a family reunion, and the family's like, oh, it's awesome. It's on a houseboat, and there's like 40 of us on these 2 boats. We're sleeping outside under the stars. And I'm going, do we have a box fan we can bring? No. Can I make my own food? No, we make it all together all at the same time. What do you guys do? We sing songs and go hiking. And I'm going, I heard in my mind, like, you're going to hate your life for a week. And so they end up convincing me to go. And it was the single worst moment of my life. The entire time, I didn't sleep because I have to have like a sound, like a white noise, like a box fan. Didn't sleep. So I started getting kind of weird looking, like day 2. They're like, are you going to make it? I'm getting all jaundice and stuff, you know? And then I don't do well with like other people making my food usually because I don't trust their hygiene or lack thereof. So I was kind of having a hard time with that. And then they're like, do you guys want to go jet skiing? And I'm afraid of speed. So I'm like, no. And they want to go hiking, and I'm afraid of falling and dying. So my uncle's like wanting to climb up things, and I'm like, no, I think I'll sit here, you know. And then my wife's family loves to get into politics. They love to debate the far right wing, the middle right wing, and the right wing. Eugene, you've seen this. But it's either the far right, like libertarian, or it's like, you know, the most moderate they can go is like Ronald Reagan. But they're usually going to end up somehow talking about guns and gold and I know we all disagree. We all have different worldviews. I just don't want to have that discussion, but they want to, and they won't stop. They'll go, so what do you think about late-term abortion? And I'm like, I think what I like to do is I would like to just be out here on the back of the boat by the AstroTurf there, the green part, you know, on the houseboat. And I just want to be here thinking about how to make more money. And then they'll say, like, well, why? Like, because it's a game, and that's how I keep score. But they're like, well, do you want to hike? No. Do you want to engage in a religious debate? No. Do you want to? No. Do you want to talk about family drama? Nope. What do you want to do? Be away. So I'm just saying is when you bring an employee in who doesn't fit your culture, that's like bringing me camping. Andrew, do you like camping?
No.
You don't?
I do not.
I'd say what? Give Ben the mic because Ben likes camping and hiking. Ben, sell us on camping and hiking and why that's the best thing in the whole world.
Well, first off, it depends on where you go. But
okay, let's go to the best place. Take us to the best place, oh king of camping. Tell us where we should go. Where's the hot spot?
I actually don't know the place. It's somewhere in Arkansas.
Okay.
But it was way cool because we were down over by a lake. And
Who's
then,
we?
So me and Amelia.
Okay, your wife.
We went camping. Yep, my wife, my beautiful wife. We went camping and fell asleep, listened to like the waves, lapping across the shore, and it was just so peaceful. There's.
Did you wake up with a tan?
To wake up? No.
Did you wake up with a bug bite?
No, I did not.
You like what time of the year did you go camping?
Fall. Fall's the best time to go camping.
So you like camping?
Oh yeah,
you're in.
It. Yeah,
you're in. Jaron, are you into camping though? Would you go with Ben if he said, "Hey, let's go"?
Definitely not. But everyone's entitled to their wrong opinions.
But this is what I'm saying. Why are you bringing the wrong employees camping? Why? If you have a culture where we have upbeat music, and we had one lady the other day. She tried out for the graphic design job. And she was here for about an hour. This is probably I'm old enough now where everything's the other day. But it was like 4 months ago. She was double referred from 2 people. Great portfolio. She sits down and she goes, excuse me, is there any way you guys could turn off the music? It's just not like my thing. I'm going, no. And she goes, could you change the playlist? I mean, how often do you change it? I'm like, never, but I do add songs and I'm the one who personally chooses it. She's like, well, what if we don't like R&B? Do you take suggestions? I'm like, no. She's like, so what if I want to hear country? No. She's like, well, don't you want to listen to what the teammates want? No. How come? Then she's about 30 minutes later. How come you don't dress up and everybody else does? I'm like, because I used to do that and I'm done now. That was one of my goals. I wear a jersey and 1 shorts because they're cheap. I a lot of times buy a new pair every week or so. I buy new socks every day. I wear a jersey with my wife's name on it because it's an affair repellent. It's a way to let everybody know where my focus is. And she's like, so you're not even going to listen to our suggestions? I'm like, yeah, that's right. Why? Because your job is to make what the client wants, not what you want. You know what I mean? And she just couldn't get over that. And I said, I think it's best, though, because you've been here for about an hour or so, whatever. I think you need to go home. And I'll pay you for your time, whatever. But I don't think you're going to like it here. She's like, well, I won't. Great. But what happens when you hire somebody like that, Ben? Ben, what happens when you hire somebody? Because you worked at Lowe's, a great company, a fine institution, probably the finest institution with the name Lowe's.
Amen to that.
And you worked there. And were there people who worked there that didn't want to be there? Ever?
I would say
No?
the vast majority of them, yes.
So what kind of stuff would people do if they don't want to be there? They have the courage to complain, but not the courage to abstain from showing up to work for a check. What happens?
They walk slow. That's a big thing. Oh yeah, they'd walk so slow.
it's freaking Monday.
They
How was your weekend? Almost Friday. It's Wednesday.
There was it's not my job, not my department, because Lowe's is split up into different departments. I was in the lumber section, and whenever someone asked a question about the flooring section or the cabinetry section, they'd be like, I don't know, let's then they'd like send them off in a direction they wouldn't help them.
Now,
at
there's a
all.
Lowe's that I go to that's some really, really great people. I've seen probably 3 or 4 of these cashiers that are just solid, hardworking, nice people. But then it's like right across they got the upbeat guy, and then right across from him, the other cashier is super negative.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to tell you, like, if you want to create a culture where everyone wants to be there, why would you let weeds grow and fester? Why would you do that? You shouldn't do that. Why would you let cancer grow? You got to pull the weeds. Now, Jaron, as we wrap up today's show, we're talking about content being king. You got to create that content. You got to write that content. What advice would you have for anybody out there who's a listener out there, small business owners? You've seen some of the clients now. We've helped them double their sales, grow their company. What advice would you have for anybody out there who says, I don't want to write the content and I don't want to pay the team? What would you say?
What the best part is I don't want to write the content either, but the thing is to be successful and get where you want and achieve your goals, all you have to do is ignore what you want and genuinely just set a schedule and stick to it. It is genuinely that simple. The time I show up to the time I go home, I do not stop working the entire time.
But you don't want to write the articles.
No, who does?
What do you want to do? What's your goal? What do you want to do?
I am going to be a business coach here.
That's what you're going to do.
Yes, that is correct.
And this is what's interesting, is that I think that if Ben's an interesting guy because Ben started here at a time where the search engine team's really been growing. So he's sort of now like the czar of the search engine team, and this position's growing and growing all the time. I think you just got a raise the other day.
Yeah, it's true.
Things are going well. It's a thing where that is so exciting for Ben, but I know that Ben could be a coach if he wanted to, but it's kind of like on the team, I think I saw a great opportunity for him, and you saw one. I think it's a good fit. But how quickly do you think it's going to take you? His wife has the record now. I think 7 months to becoming a coach. Is it 6 months? How many months was it?
I think 4.
4?
I want to say 4 or 5.
4?
4 or 5. I don't. You'd have to ask her.
You have to ask her. That's way fast. Okay, what is your goal to beat his wife in the speed record to get to the be the coach the fastest?
I am a bit of a competitive person, so I definitely want to do it probably in the shortest amount of time possible. Seems impossible, but then improbable, and then inevitable. So I'm going to go 3 months.
Now, why am I making you write content before you coach clients? Why do I make everybody join the search engine team before becoming a coach of some kind?
I'm 30 years old. If you're going to come in and seek business coaching, you're probably going to be a little bit older. And why would you want to listen to some 30-year-old kid if they've never done every single step that you're going to tell them to do?
Oh, and then why would I move somebody to – you have to be on the sales team for a while to be a coach. Why would I make your wife, Amelia, make those sales calls before she could be a coach? Why would I do that, Jaron? Why do you think that Amelia had to be do outbound sales calls then next?
If you aren't going to be making 500 phone calls a day, how can you tell someone to make 500 calls a day?
Interesting. And then why would I have Amelia and all the new coaches, Julia, different people, why would I have them have to go manage a group of people in some capacity and to shadow me before they can coach clients?
This might be crazy to you, Cole, but I think that these business owners might have to manage people themselves.
Get out of here. That's impressive. Well, Ben, any final encouragement for the listeners out there who are serious about getting to the top of Google?
I would say just do it. I mean, it's really not that. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I feel like the biggest thing is a lot of people try to overcomplicate it. But that biggest hump that a lot of new people face is actually just writing that content. And it's really simple. Just kind of. I just kind of go and I'm a sick freak like that. I just love it so much. But so just do it. Yeah,
just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Sounds like a Nike commercial of some kind.
I
don't know. I'm not sure. It sounds vaguely familiar. And now, without any further ado, we like to end each and every show with a boom. And so here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom! Dr. Breck, I got to ask you this. You are a chiropractor and a business owner.
I am.
But have you ever found yourself needing an attorney?
I have.
And for what kinds of situations?
Contracts and different, I'm trying to think. Mostly, yeah, I haven't really had any.
What about trademarks or patents or copywriting something?
No, I'd like to say yes, but no.
What about negotiating leases?
Yes.
What about an employee who filed for unemployment, or maybe somebody who had to let go, or somebody who, you ever had like a litigation you've had to deal with?
No, thankfully not.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Jason, you've been involved with the Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge.
I have.
And now you coach clients.
True.
You used to manage all 3 stores, managing close to 4,000 members.
Oh yeah.
And dozens of employees, and you now coach clients. You're in our morning coaches meetings.
Right.
How often do our clients have legal questions?
Oh, they have legal questions every single day.
Well, here's what I have found. I've been self-employed since I was since I was 16 years old. So I've been now self-employed for 22 years.
Mm-hmm.
And there is not a week that goes by that I don't have some sort of legal situation. Usually it's copywriting something, it's protecting something, it's drawing up a contract, it's buying a piece of real estate, it's dealing with a wrongful termination, it's dealing with purchasing a company, selling a company. It's always something that I need a lawyer for.
Right.
And the worst possible time to be looking for an attorney is when you need one.
Right.
When you're trying to flip a house and you have an offer right now that has to close today,
right.
You don't want to be looking for an attorney to look over that agreement. You don't want to be looking for an attorney when you're trying to sign that lease. You don't want to be looking for an attorney when you have to buy somebody out or fire somebody. You don't want to be looking for an attorney when you are looking for the answers.
Right.
So what I would encourage everybody to do today is to be proactive and find an attorney out there that you can trust. Now, we have a great attorney based in Dallas, Texas, who's elected to be a sponsor of the show by the name of Scott Reeb. That's R-E-I-B, Scott Reeb. And his company, Reeb Law, they offer a program called the iLegal Coaching. Let me just share with you what's included in this program that is available for as little as $11 per day.
Yeah.
$11 a day. Unlimited phone access to the legal coaching team.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a question, you call, unlimited access. Unlimited text messages back and forth with the legal team.
That's great.
You get contract coaching, contract design, a 60-minute session with an iLegal coach, an annual strategic legal planning session, a VIP ticket to the legal workshop, VIP document vault, a custom design of your corporate structure, monthly VIP check-in call with a legal coaching team, online access to the legal platform. All of this is available for just $11 a day.
That's a lot.
Now, I'd be lying to you if I said that I used this company.
Okay.
I use Wes Carter and the company Winters King. It's wintersking.com. The reason why I use Winters and King is Winters and King represents T.D. Jakes. They've represented Donald Trump Jr. They've represented Joel Osteen, Joyce Meyer, and huge corporations. And I have a lot going on in my life, and I need an attorney that's super well connected into the literary space, and I need somebody who understands media and the complexities of what I do.
Right.
That's why I use Winters and King, and that's why I've used Wes Carter for years. So I would really, unless Wes Carter, something happened where he was no longer there, I would never leave Winters and King. They do a great job with me. But if I was looking for an attorney today, and I didn't know where to go, and I'm on a tight budget, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs are, I would definitely check out the good folks over here at Reeb Law. Check these guys out today, and check out their iLegal coaching package. Objectively, Dr. Breck, do you think that that makes a lot of sense to have a plan like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, you've got the immediate access, and you've got it at a very reasonable price. Because you're going to be paying by the hour for every little subject that comes up all the time. And here you've got somebody on speed dial. I mean, you've got instant access guaranteed in several different platforms: text, call, online. You've got documents. You listed off a number of things there. And all at a very reasonable price.
So check them out today at Reeb Law. It's REIB law.com, REIB law.com. The phone number is 940-591-0600, 940-591-0600. Tell them that Clay Clark sent you, and then they'll probably get a little bit frustrated that the lead came from me because they know if they get a lead from me, it's an entrepreneur who's got a lot going on
There's gonna be a lot
and
of
an
questions.
entrepreneur who's going to use the heck out of this program. I'll tell you, no, but in all sincerity though, they love working with entrepreneurs. That's their niche, and it's available for as little as $11 a day. If you don't have an attorney you can trust right now, or you don't have an attorney, I don't think it hurts anybody at all to just check out check them out, do the free consultation. Check them out today at Reeb Law. That's REIB, ReebLaw.com.